in recent history. Dan Dawson, how do you see this one going?
Game on!
Well, I think it'll be tight. These two have a history of producing some real ding-dong battles. They have met loads of times and produced some absolute thrillers, and there have been significant games in there as well. Obviously, there's that Sindelfingen final that you mentioned, but they've met on the telly. Kim beat him in the Players' Championship finals back in 2012 in the quarterfinals when he went on to make the final.
43.
But Peter Wright has had the better of it of late. Beating him in the European Championship a couple of times. Players' Championship finals. Last two times, gone 10-9 and 10-8.
140.
Beat him in the match play, although Kim hates the match play. He's never won. Robert Thornton won his first game at the match play at his 7th year of trying last year. And that now makes Kim the man to have played most at the Blackpool Winter Gardens without winning a game. It is a title you don't want.
140.
Horses for courses and all that.
Good start to this from Huybrechts, though.
Out like a bullet from a gun here, Kim Huybrechts.
100. Kim, you require 81.
81 for a very comfortable hold of throw.
Oh, just another 15 then.
49.
Thing is, he did this against Alan Norris, of course. He came out the blocks, and after 2.5, 3 legs, he was averaging around about 120. And then it just disappeared, Kim Huybrechts. But, I mean, we could, genuinely, as things stand, as Kim Huybrechts takes out double 16 for a 13-dart hold of throw, there is a possibility that we have, in the final here tonight, two guys who've already been eliminated from the Premier League and who are both struggling with injury, which is a ridiculous thought. I mean, I pointed out at the start of the day, I didn't really fancy... I thought Yella might win his first game because I thought it was an evenly matched one with Chizzy. But I didn't really fancy him to go all the way and start winning multiple games over the day because he's struggling with this wrist injury. But he's just gone and averaged 100 there in what, for me, was the most entertaining game of the day. I thought that Klaassen van der Pas game was fantastic.
Yep.
60.
Yeah, it was one that we anticipated would go a long way. And, yeah, the way that Klaassen took out that 94 with the back-to-back double 19s, we've seen him do that before as well. It was a beautiful way to finish things off, and, well, finish off that particular leg. But it set him up nicely for the 10th leg as well. Of course,
60.
When you're on 94 and you go for the 18s, if you hit the treble, all well and good, you can go for tops. But when you can back it up with back-to-back double 19s, it's a good weapon to have at your disposal.
Yeah, I have to say, I do like that shot. Very difficult one to pull off. Speaking personally, Yella makes it look easy. Fat 20 is hard for me to pull off. This keeps things interesting for Huybrechts if he fired another treble, but he didn't manage it. So Peter Wright, 2 visits from 167 to level it up. Might only need the 1. I don't think he'd go for the ball. We'll never know.
Yeah, he won't get the chance.
But we can wildly speculate.
I think he would have.
Well, I think he wouldn't.
Just to endear him even more to the crowd. Another PR exercise, as you'd have called it. I'd have called it a wonderful piece of darts. You'd have called it
marketing
a cynical
machine
marketing
rolling
move.
on.
32.
Interesting double 18 leave there for Peter Wright.
23.
Ooh, I like this. I like this a lot. Oh, very nearly loved it. What a steal that would have been from Kim Huybrechts. Now, Peter Wright used to leave the double 18, purposely moved away from it because he didn't like the double 9, and that's exactly what he's left. Because he kept missing it. But he hits it this time. It is one apiece.
10-9 when they met in the Players' Championship finals last year. To Peter Wright in the quarterfinals. 6-5 in their 2 most recent encounters on the European Tour, 1 either way. This one has all the hallmarks of a 11-leg tussle once again.
But you have to say, look, Kim, all right, he won that final on the Euro Tour in Sindelfingen, 6-5. But Peter Wright missed darts for the title.
Certainly did.
I think he missed 2. So let's just imagine But had Peter Wright hit one of those 2 darts for the title, as he looks to fill this up,
140.
if he had won that game, which he eminently could have, he would have won the last 7. Now, I know they've been close.
180.
That is first maximum of this one. I know they have had lots of close games, but when something keeps happening, you look for a reason. And I think it's just the fact that Peter Wright has just been a little bit more consistent. And Kim Huybrechts,
89.
he's shown in his 2 campaigns in the Premier League, he can play really good darts, he can live with all the best players in the world, but there's just a little thing that's been missing. Every now and again, he finds ways to lose points and lose games or draw games that he should have won. And that's what's cost him in the Premier League this season. Should have beaten Phil Taylor, for example, in the Premier League.
Game shown the 3rd leg. Kim Huybrechts, 4th leg, Peter the
2-1 up here, though.
Started the weekend, did Kim with a 6-1 win over the Brazilian qualifier Diogo Portela. Alan Norris was seen off earlier today. I say seen off, it was 6-4, but his average was actually less than that of Alan Norris's. It was only 87.6.
Yeah, and as I
6
say,
from 17 on doubles as well. So,
and that's after starting like an absolute train in the early stages. As I say, 2.5 legs in, he's averaging 120, and it just completely fell apart for Kim. And he got the job done, and fair play. That is grinding out a result. There's a lot to be said for that, because that is what occasionally Kim Huybrechts is guilty of being unable to do.
140.
When he's playing his best stuff, he can beat anybody. That's how he's won. He's won 2 Euro Tour titles. He's made a major final. Beaten Michael van Gerwen on a big stage, throwing a 9-darter in the process with a big ton-plus average. You don't get in the Premier League unless you're capable of throwing elite-level darts. The problem is with Kim Huybrechts is just, it happens, doesn't happen quite often enough. But then he's very, very consistent on the tour. You look at last year, he was on the Euro Tour, he was phenomenal. And he's never present on the Euro Tour. In fact, these are the only 2. Peter Wright and Kim Huybrechts played in every single Euro Tour.
as we discussed yesterday, we had a little quiz on air, didn't we?
139.
Give you everything on the Euro Tour. Most things.
Not 9-dart finishes.
No.
Huybrechts' perfect leg was at the 3rd Players' Championship in Barnsley, his opening match against Sven Grun. 52 then. Double 16 for Wright to level things up, with Huybrechts lurking on 1-4-3, and Huybrechts might just start thinking here about pulling off an unlikely 4th leg win. Well, he won't do it now.
87. Peter, you require 32.
Anxious times here for Peter Wright and his legions of followers in the crowd here.
16.
And Kim Huybrechts, well, it was an unlikely snatch before. It's a very likely one now. 56. 2 bites at tops. Just nudging the wire.
16.
And that one was just marginally further away, and Peter Wright has been
Peter, you require 16.
let off the hook here.
Well, he loves double 16,
Game
but he
shot
wasn't
on the full
particularly good at it
Peter
in
Wright,
his
fifth leg
game
gives
earlier
it
this
full
afternoon against Stephen Bunting. I know he won it 6-2, and he averaged, in the end, he averaged 97.5.
140.
He put in 2 very strong legs at the end of the match to drag his average up.
But again, 6 from 16 on his doubles.
Hmm.
There were a few misses.
And double 16, a lot of them
Yeah.
were missed at double 16. He's usually so reliable, that part of the board.
140.
Ton 40 plays ton 40.
I was just going to mention he hit 6 perfect darts against Bunting today as well, and I was just going to tee that up by saying, and he's on course to
60.
perhaps let us all dream again.
Well, good job you didn't. I get excited and then ultimately disappointed.
We're running out of matches here, Dan, to see the 9-dart finish in Hildesheim. We'll have to wait until Jena
100.
over the course of the Easter weekend.
Ah, yes, but once one arrives, the floodgates will open. There'll be 9 darters every other leg. Mark my words.
55.
Now, Kim Huybrechts missed 2 darts to get the first break of throw in that previous leg, but this is a real chance for Peter Wright to give himself an opportunity, having just
100.
wriggled out of the Huybrechts trap in the previous leg.
Pay do you require 161?
Loves a 1-6-1 finish. You can go one of two ways. He went the conventional, treble 20, treble 17. He was unable to do it, so now
105. Can you require
extra 5 points.
153?
Gets him down below 60. So
51.
Huybrechts went 16 for double top and missed both darts at double top for the break. Peter Wright goes 16 double top. Misses one dart for the break.
Very similar positioning as well, that one.
36.
And misses another dart for the break.
Can you require 100?
That first crack at double 20 was almost pinpoint where Huybrechts put his. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
Can't finish 99 in 2 darts.
Peter Wright turns around to see what all the fuss is about and thinks, hey, back in business here.
80. Pace you require 20. Game China 50.
And there is the break, the first
Six-leg pin in the throat
potentially
first.
decisive break in what was always likely to be a very close encounter. That could prove absolutely priceless.
Looking disappointed, Kim Huybrechts, as well he may be.
85.
But it's not disappointed Kim that tends to produce his best stuff. It's angry Kim. It's bouncy Kim. It's aggressive Kim. That's what we want to see.
100.
Just looking a little bit subdued.
Would you say, I've not checked statistically, but is this the best start to a calendar year that Wright has ever made?
86.
It is. Well, in fact, you know what? He talked about a change of focus because the UK Open qualifiers hang about.
Just hold on.
The UK Open qualifiers, you know, he was obviously good at doing enough to get to the UK Open because he had made the final the 2 previous years. But I think he kind of viewed them as just a method of getting to the UK Open itself. But he said that this year he approached it in a different way. He said that, well, I saw it, it's ranking money, it goes on my ranking, and he has targeted that number 2 spot in the ranking by the end of the year that is currently held by Gary Anderson, and that win at the UK Open Finals has helped push him a little bit further towards him. Still some way to go, but he also knows that Gary Anderson is defending a lot of money at the World Championship at the end of the year.
He certainly is.
There's Peter Wright. Oh, that's cost him.
Can you require 161?
Extra 15 points would have been 130 left, and that significantly easier to finish than the 145. So he approached it in a different manner and said, this is all ranking money. I've got to go and try and get as much as possible. And he won 3 of them, won half of them. And played superbly, I have to say. See, had he left the 130, he'd still have a chance. In fact, he'd have a dart at the bullseye.
105.
Kim Huybrechts comes back, looking at 96 to break straight back and give us a level game once more at 3 apiece. 76 left, double-double.
He had a look.
56.
Should have gone the 19s, Kim. Should have been watching yellow. Tops for Wright. Missed a couple of darts at it last leg before he eventually pinned double 10. Doesn't miss this time, though, does he? 4-2. We've got daylight between these two for the first time in this match. And the world number 3, the UK Open champion, 2 legs away from a place in the semi-finals to face either the gentle Mensur Suljovic or the Iceman, Gerwyn Price. Gerwyn Price looking to make his first Euro Tour semi-final. Has been in the quarters before,
Yeah, 3
never the
times.
semis.
Yeah, twice last year,
42.
and once in Gibraltar as well a couple of years ago. Successful transition from rugby league to darts.
Very successful.
Incredibly rapid transition as well.
You know what? Barry Bates turned up at Q School with Gerwyn Price, said, oh, here's my mate. He can play a bit of darts. Nobody's seen him before in his life. He played a few opens, you know, old people might have seen him at these things, but nobody really knew much about him. Look what he's done.
It's astonishing.
Major finalist in that
81.
shorter space of time. Only 32 as well.
Well, you feel a second break here would be potentially devastating for Huybrechts, but he's in good shape to hold his throat.
Yeah, down to a Shanghai finish there, so even a 140 from Peter Wright doesn't hurt him that much, you would think. Struggling to even get that now. He's not going to get that, so he's not going to be on a finish. So Kim Huybrechts hoping to close the gap to 4-3 and gets at least 6 darts.
Just get the impression that Kim would have just liked a nice uncomplicated finish there, just to give him something to cling to. But okay, he's not in any particular danger at the moment.
He might be in a minute. But I just want to see Kim fire himself up a little bit. Where's the spring, the bounce, the aggression?
Well, there's the danger now. Double 5 can be a big problem. He's some way north of the wire, and that one's likewise. And all of a sudden,
PG requires 77.
Peter Wright is sensing blood here. Tops then for a 5-2 scoreline. And that will really hurt Kim Huybrechts. Make no mistake about that. It should have been 4-3. He had plenty of room for manoeuvre there, did Kim Huybrechts, but all of a sudden it's 5-2, and Wright is now throwing for the match.
Yeah, and he's making a very, very fast start in this 8th leg. It's his first 180, Peter Wright.
And what a time to produce it as well. Just another timely swipe. Huybrechts on the ropes here.
Well, the crowd is singing his name and getting what they wanted. The very popular Peter Wright, one leg away from the semi-final.
He's annoyed with himself there. He's only backed it up with 60. He's just given Huybrechts, again, just a degree of hope, but he's still in good shape here, Peter Wright. But he just wanted to hammer home his authority and just ease away. Might do so here. He's got loads of room for one more.
140.
Well, 202 points behind. And these are not particularly focused darts from Kim Huybrechts. I think he knows that this has gone.
So treble 20 to start things off. Doesn't quite get there, so looking at treble 17, misses that as well. So the champagne is on ice, shall we say, for Peter Wright. As far as this match is concerned, I don't think he'll be doing any drinking just yet.
Well, he took out double 9 in the second leg to get his own first leg on the board. He's looking at 18s here. It'll be 9 if he misses inside. But he doesn't. He takes it out. So the 13-dart leg from Peter Wright completes a 6-2 win. It is another victory for Peter Snakebite Wright.